Is he trash? No, shut up.
Are we having fun yet?
Is Drew Eubanks trash? Okay, so a lot of Spurs fans, okay, it's and I mean a lot, all right? It's not just a few. Usually I'm a little hyperbolic when I say a lot. No, I mean literally a lot. A lot of Spurs fans call Drew Eubanks trash. People really don't care for Drew Eubanks. We will be very happy, not me, but I mean we just as a whole, the community will be really happy if Drew Eubanks was just gone by next season or the season after. And I have to say something. I don't think Drew Eubanks is a bad player by any means. Now, looking at his stats, obviously this isn't going to stand out as like some phenomenal year or great regular season by any means. But I will say this, he's pretty consistent with what he is. And every single time that I think that he's going to be outside of that or better than that or than what I think he is, I'm proven wrong. So I will say that. I thought that Drew Eubanks could potentially come into the season and not necessarily be a star, but be a very valuable player next to Jakob. But that has not really been the case this season. He's been pretty consistent and doable for what he is. An athletic big who can get you some blocks here and there. All right, he's averaging about 0.7 and he's usually around that range. It can get you a few points, nothing really special. It's mostly going to be off of pick and rolls. Unfortunately, his screen game isn't the best, but I will say this, as a player that could potentially be like a third big man that you kind of go to and you need him in there, I feel like he's very doable in that regard. Now, you might just go ahead and say that and cast that aside and say that's not a big deal, like third string big man, like who needs that? But you do need that, especially in the next season or two when I'm expecting the Spurs to get some type of player in the draft that will be a big and potentially a huge big for us going forward. You're gonna need players like Drew Eubanks and Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl obviously is a better player than Drew Eubanks, but when I look at Drew, I see a player that's really good at defense and really good when you put him in a systematic role. Now, every single time, I'm just being honest, every single time I've seen him sway away from that, it has not necessarily panned out. Obviously, he has some type of post-up game, which I've always, commended him for. I always said that was really cool, but at the same time, it's just not consistent enough. That hook shot is just not consistent enough. He gets to points where he start making or taking bad shots. It's not a beautiful sight to see. Also, I thought that coming into this season, because our boy Chip England said that he's one of the best three-point shooters on the team when you give him the opportunity. Well, earlier this season, they gave him the opportunity. Overall 16.7 three-point percentage. Now, he's not shooting a lot, okay? 0.2, between 0 and 0.2. So, but once he started stinking up the place, they kind of said, no, we're going to stay with it. At least Pop did. And, rightfully so, because you can't have bigs messing up threes. That was his opportunity. He had to really shine in that category. So that's unfortunate. But when Pop puts him in situations where he just has to be a doable big, and just a guy that comes in, just play good defense, give him like two good things to do, he's doable, man. He's a pretty good player. It's just that maybe, I don't know if it's Spurs Nation. I know I did. I just overrated him a little bit. I never saw him as a player that, is trash. Now I just see him as a player as, he's a doable role-playing big. And you know what? He might be slightly better than just a doable role-playing big, and that's okay. That's okay. He's just not going to be as good as I expected him to be, but that's fine. He can be a doable player throughout his career. I'm sure he has several more years left in the NBA. Any team can kind of use a guy like him, a guy who can play good defense, who plays hard, who gets nice rebounds. But yeah, this is going to be a consistent thing. Even in this situation where he's getting slightly more opportunity. He got quite a bit of opportunity last season, but slightly more opportunities this season, especially with the ball in his hands. He's not doing terrible, but he's gotten over assist a game, rebounds still around 4, but he's been still consistent with who he is and what he is. So whether or not, I don't think it's really that Drew Eubanks is just a terrible player, therefore Spurs fans just hate him. I think it's just the whole thing that happened with Bryn Forbes a few years ago, where you just had to use him and use him and use him, and it really exposes his weaknesses even more. So overall, the man is not trash. All right, this is a happy trash can, but he's not trash. Okay, he's not trash. He's a decent player. It's just that he's not as good as we thought he was, and that's okay. All right, that's all right. But yeah, that's all I got for today. If you guys want to support the channel, obviously you can go to Patreon, become a YouTube member. Link in the description for that. Or hey, listen, if you're like, Clan, I don't want to give $2, dude. Like, I don't have $2. That's okay. All you have to do is just go over to the Discord, man. Join the Discord. Link in the description. It's a Spurs group chat. Thus far we got, you see, 54 people online, 322 offline. So we got quite a few people, near 400. So if you want to go ahead and join that, I want to get this up as much as possible. And you can always like give me suggestions in here. You can ask for me to add any other sections that you want to talk or anything you want to discuss. Thus far we got NBA talk, we got Austin Spurs talk, we got you see, you know, suggesting content, obviously, and the things that I like. Okay, I like video games, anime, memes, music, movies, and shows. All right, so it's a lot to talk about, and obviously sometimes when I go live, you guys can come in and call in and we can talk a little bit. You know, that's it's rare, but it happens. Okay, but I'll get with you guys later, man. But yeah, I'll give with you. Usually I end the video with I'll get with you later if you want to support you, but I already did that. All right, yeah, I did. What? Huh?